And former First Lady Barbara Bush has died at the age of 92. The Bush family spokesman confirmed her death late last night. The news comes just days after it was revealed that she was in failing health and would no longer seek hospital care. She had battled some health problems for much of her later life, both pulmonary disease and congestive heart failure in the last few months of her life. She was surrounded by her children and her grandchildren. And this morning, as the country mourns the former First Lady, there is much to remember about her extraordinary life. Being both a First Lady and the mother of a president, she holds a unique place in American history. And speaking of history, her 73-year marriage to George H.W. Bush is the longest presidential marriage in U.S. history. Myra Moreno has her story.
Barbara Pierce met George Herbert Walker Bush during a Christmas dance at a prestigious Massachusetts boarding school, Phillips Academy. George was a senior, Barbara was 16. He was the son of Connecticut Senator Prescott Bush and Dorothy Walker Bush. They became engaged a year and a half later, just before he took off to fight in the Pacific. Joining the Navy at age 18, George would become the youngest naval aviator of his day. One of the fighter planes he flew, he named for Barbara. In 1944, Bush was piloting a plane that was hit by Japanese anti-aircraft fire. With his plane on fire, he completed his bombing run. He was the sole survivor of his three-man crew, rescued by a U.S. submarine. The torpedoed bomber pilot would return to his sweetheart, a veteran of 58 combat missions, awarded the Distinguished Flying Cross. The first man she ever kissed, Barbara married George in the midst of World War II, January the 6th, 1945, tying the knot in Rye, New York, as her husband recuperated. George was 20 years old, Barbara just 19, having dropped out of her studies at Smith College 2 weeks before their wedding day. As for the Bushes' 73-year marriage, it has been well chronicled, the couple making visits to the George H.W. Bush Presidential Library at Texas A&M in College Station, and splitting time between a summer home in Kennebunkport, Maine, and here in Houston, where they have been spotted at Astros games, cheering on runners in the Houston Marathon, even caught on the kiss cam at a Texans game at NRG Stadium. During Barbara's 2009 emergency heart surgery, George emotionally reflected on what was most important in life.
I've been a nervous wreck about it. Today, we heard from 4 presidents of the United States: Obama, Clinton, Jimmy Carter, and George Bush.
On Valentine's Day 2017, the library and museum at College Station released a letter from its vault that could melt a heart of stone. The 1943 love letter details George H.W.'s feelings for his bride-to-be. I love you, precious, with all my heart, and to know that you love me means my life. How often I have thought about the immeasurable joy that will be ours someday, he wrote. Good night, my beautiful. Every time I say beautiful, you about kill me, but you'll have to accept it. George finished the letter by telling Barbara she made his life full of everything he could ever dream of.
And soon after the announcement of Barbara's death, many took to Twitter to offer their condolences, including Jeb Bush Jr., saying, quote, "I think my Ganny," as he called her, would have wanted us to remember her by picking up a book, reading to our child, our grandchild, or finding an opinion different than our own. I love her and I will miss her very much.